Welcome back, my friends. Now that we have a character and we have all his hair and clothing, we can export him. I go to File, Export, and I choose iAvatar. I'll give him somewhere nice to live in my computer. I'm replacing the old one here because I already did this once. And now we can bring this dude into iClone. Inside iClone here, I'll just adjust the timeline a little. Now I go to File, then Import, and I select my Simon avatar that I exported from Character Creator. And he pops in here. He has all the same materials and attributes, and he looks the same as he did in Character Creator. Now onward to the content menu. And I'm going to look through some poses. In this case, a male pose, and I drag it out. And like this, I can see in real time the behavior of the mesh with all of our pre-designed poses. Fancy schmancy. Doing this, we can see our mesh works perfectly with any of the poses. There's no bad stretching, there's no broken areas or textures. So, we can go about testing with each one of them in this way. I'll do one more here. Actually, I want a sitting pose. Ooh, looks pretty good. The best thing is that the poses can be configured with the motion editor. So just like in Character Creator, I can position the joint like so, and we can tweak the poses. Right now, he's sitting on air, so it would be better if we added a chair so he'd be a lot more comfortable, but not yet. I want to keep on playing with poses. It's actually pretty fun to do, and it's super easy. I'm still checking how the clothes behave. That's what I'm doing here. Not all fun and games. It's mostly fun and games. With all these poses, just want to see how the clothes work. I'm rotating and visualizing from all possible angles. Now, once you've had your fill of the poses, go to Motion Files, and you just got to search, and honestly, you should test out as many as possible to get a feel for what motions you like. For example, I kind of like these ones. Click and drag. The motion file is applied. So if I press the play button or if I press the space key, you can see I've given him a subtle idle motion. He looks relaxed or passive. This is a pretty good idle pose. But since it doesn't show anything really interesting, I'm going to replace it. For example, I delete the motion clip from the timeline. And I apply a different one. Let's do a walking cycle. And press play to see him go for a stroll. I can even generate a loop so he keeps walking. On the timeline, I select the motion file, right-click, then reset pivot. This removes root motion. Now I extend the motion clip from the edge, and the walk cycle will loop with him standing in place. Pretty good stuff. We're getting results that look minty fresh in record time, bro. And that's a good thing. We're just going for a stroll now. Let's take this one off. I'll find a new pose, something sassy with his arms crossed. You should grab some poses from the Reallusion store if you need. There's a ton of great stuff in there. Now I'm going to craft a scene to grab a nice render. Let's go back to the motion editor. I'm going to move some stuff around so his arms don't touch or overlap too much. I've got symmetrical editing on, mirrored there. In this case, I'm going to keep this pose style. Something very spontaneous. It kind of goes with his personality. It's like he's saying, hey, what's up? I'm cool, Now I edit the expression a little bit, selecting face key and choosing a happy expression, and then also from the muscle panel. I'll pull the eyes to look at the camera, little by little, just tweaking so it looks natural. I love his big cheesy grin. I could even raise his eyelids a little. Alrighty-dighty now, I go to the scene panel, and I'm gonna check out the default lighting, maybe give those lights a tweak. Lighting is super important. You could spend forever getting perfect lighting, so here's some quick tips. Just click the eye, make it visible so you can move or rotate it in the viewport. Take some time to see the shadows it's making. Then select another light, and I'm upping the intensity and taking advantage of the nice separation that gives me in contrast to the background. And so just like this, we accentuate the lighting, changing the color, tweaking to taste, fancy-like. I repeat the process with the other lights. I can even create a new little light friend for myself. This light friend could be a spotlight. Something like this usually appears in the middle of the scene. We can rotate it around and then move it to a nice spot, something facing the model, more or less like this. I just wanted to focus the light on his face a little bit and keep it from spilling over too much. The idea here is to generate a light that's stronger or more dominant than the other lights. Perfecto! Then I select it, I crank up the intensity, I increase the range. I make the color more or less white. And then I hide the spotlight by pressing the eye icon. Looking pretty good, my friends, pretty good. With that done, the next thing we can do is create another light friend. We'll do that from the Create menu as well. For this one, let's do a point light. Let's get crazy. Everyone knows that point lights are crazy. Let's place it in the center, nice and close to the model, but not too close. I want to get the shine effect in his eyes. That's something that's sort of common with cartoon characters. We want that light spot that hovers near the pupil. I'll increase the intensity a little bit. And now I have a brighter scene. Next, I'm going to create a camera. I'm going to make sure to name it, because names are important. In the settings, I'll put it to 80 millimeters, which makes it pretty orthographic. In render settings, up at the top, I'll activate the image option since we're doing an image. I also activate super sampling, and I make that 3x3. That makes it nice and sharp. By 3. Then I activate global illumination over here and lower the strength just a little. I'm adjusting the shadow strength too. You can just play with these settings until it looks good to your eyes. You're the artist. I think I like it like this. Back in render options, I'm choosing a resolution for this image test. I'm going to make it an even 2K. I position my model in the center. And I also want to tweak the background colors a little bit. In my case, I'm just making it lighter, more contrast with the character. I'll make it white. It won't really affect the color of the image as much as it seems because I'm doing a PNG, and that'll actually be a transparent background. So now if I press the export button and I give it a name, we're good to take a look at our finished character. Boom! And just like that, we're done. That's how you make a cartoon character in Character Creator 3. Thanks for watching.